Hey guys, it's Amy with Crafts by Amy. Tonight I am in Tamara's event, Crafty Friends, T's Paper Crafting Friends event group, hosted by Crafty Fox Creations by Tamara. And it is graduation / Memorial Day themed. And we have to use paper of some sort in our craft. So, are my 2 pages. These are my papers. I got the images from Fabrica and made them into some prints. Hey Tamara, hey Miss Carla. So, they're printed on both sides. I did that. I'm just going to cut these in half. So, they're 8.5 by 11, so 5.5, I think. Isn't that right? 5.5 and 5.5? Yeah, 5.5. Thank you, Miss Tamara. So, it's going to be a smaller folio than normal, but I wanted it to be this size. Hopefully, I printed the other stuff this size. If not, I'm just going to have to cut it down. Let me check this while I'm thinking about it, because it's all just sitting here. These overlap in the middle, so it's really not going to matter. This one is almost as tall as that. Might have to trim this one down. But that's not the end of the world, so the rest of them should work fine. I did kind of design this folio. I did not buy it from Etsy or anything. It is just, I had a kit, and I've just tweaked it, and I've just tweaked it a lot by now. Hey, Miss Marsha. So, I need to find my corner rounder, because 2 of the pages need to be rounded on the edges. Okay, that does not want to go on correctly. So we're going to have one piece is going to be one end. So I'm going to round the corner on this side. And I'm just using my corner rounder, and I'm just using the 4mm punch. So that one's that side, and then the one on this end, let me get this out of the way. I don't really need my mouse while I'm crafting. The one on this end, which I did not do that right. The only paper that matches is that one. I thought I had them where they matched. Maybe that got upside down. Well, it's better than nothing. We're just going to go with it. So I'm just cutting the corners off of that one, and then I am going to, thank you, Miss Marcia. I am going to, so since I didn't cut I literally just printed images on the front and back of these pages. So instead of having like what would be the edge to, words would work. You know how what you would fold? So okay. So instead of having this on the side, I just printed this out, and I'm going to, that's not the paper thing I wanted. Let me see if I can find the paper thing that there it is. When you have so many of these and they look alike, you start getting confused. Okay, this is my one that cuts like the edge off. So we're just gonna see how this works. I'm thinking it may not work that well, but we're just gonna try it and see how it goes. So I'm gonna use the largest one there is on here. There are 3 different ones. So we're connecting this one to this one. And then we're going to connect this one to this one and connect this one to this one. So this one I'm going to do this side. So we're going to connect this one to this one to this one, and then this one I'm going to do this side. So hopefully it works. If not, it's trial and error, you know. I always do things that end up wonky. So If that happens today, not the end of the world. So what I am going to do next is I'm going to take the ones that have the little cutoffs and leave this one alone, and I'm going to score these so I can fold them. Because you're going to want to fold your folio to close it. In case y'all have never seen a folio before. You're going to want to close it at some point. And I just use this scoring tool that I actually got from Dollar Tree. It doesn't matter where you get them from. I just like using the scoring tool for this because I always cut through with my bone folder. Aw, I'm sorry. I love sewing in signatures. It's like one of my favorite things. So I'm just scoring it along wherever the mark is at the end. So we've got that one scored. We're scoring this one, and this is our other end page. It's just upside down. Hey, Brandy. Hey, Jamie. Jamie is up after me, you guys. She is closing out the event. So we have that. We are going to need the scoreboard, but I don't want to keep it on the table. I don't like doing that when I have glue out or tape or anything because I don't like getting it on that. So, yeah. So I am going to fold these and use my bone folder to make sure the crease works whenever I do go to fold it. Hey, Miss Teresa, I made another folio. It's different from the one I gave you. Sort of. It's a different size. Hi, Mary. Yeah, if you ever need help, Marsha, just reach out. Because I can always re-upload any of my videos that I've ever done on any of that stuff. I have them all saved from Facebook. The only video that I missed out on saving was my mystery box that I did last fall, which I'm kind of bummed about because it was the first one I ever did. But it is what it is. Okay. So we've got our middle. That's our middle. No. That's our piece that goes here. Okay. I'm getting myself all confused now. Okay. This is how they're going to go together. So we're going to glue this with this to this, and this to this. So this one's going to have, you can either have the two pieces on the inside, or you can do like this and have them on the back side. If I had prepared a little bit better, the lines would have matched up better, but I didn't, so it doesn't. Hi, Missy. So yeah, we're going to attach these to each other. And I think I want to make sure that the pieces that are attaching are all on the outside instead of on the inside. Oh, maybe I shouldn't do that. I always have issues with being able to close these after I've glued or taped them together. So before I do anything else, I do want to make sure that I can close this thing. So I'm making sure that this fold that's on the other side, I can fold it over. So like when I go to close this, I want to make sure I can actually fold this and it'll stay closed. I always forget which one goes where, but that's why I have a corner rounded. So, yeah. Actually, I think I want to do it this way this time. I want to have these pieces on the inside. I think that's going to make it easier to fold. So that's what I'm going to do this time. And I want to make sure this is pretty much folded down. I didn't want to make a whole journey. Hey, Beth! Oh, well, thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. I've missed your lives lately. Well, obviously, we know you're out of town, so. I'm trying to decide which glue I want to use. I'm just going to use this Alien's tacky glue that I have if I can get the lid off of. It doesn't like me, so sometimes I can't get it off. And then I'll decide to use something different. Hi, Lori from Nana's Nook. How are you doing? Okay, well, we'll just use this 3-in-1. I almost used tape just now because I do have some, but I'm not sure how much is left of it, and so I don't want to waste it. So I'm lining this sheet up with the edge of this sheet. I'm not doing a good job of it, apparently. So I'm trying to keep this flat against the glass mat. And I am not doing a good job of this, apparently. Okay, now I've got it. Hey, Miss Nina. How are you doing? Thank you, Lori. Thank you, Beth. So again, the next piece is going to go on this one. So I'm going to put glue on this one. I love how my parents text me during my lives. Can you order pizza for dinner? At least it's my dad instead of my mom. Hey, Melissa, how are you? I am doing decent. I have a thing I have to do next Wednesday. I am in Tamara's event again next Wednesday. I have something I have to do during the day that I don't want to do, but I'm going to do. Okay, line up the paper with the other piece and then press it down. Thanks, Melissa. I'm doing well. How's your grandson? His name's Styles, right? That's what your grandson's name is, right? You know? The one that loves Winnie the Pooh? Or is that you? And you just say that he likes Winnie the Pooh. So this is our last piece that we've got to glue on for the folio. And then we can put the pockets in. So this one's backwards, but it's basically the same thing. I'm lining up the edge of the paper and then folding this piece down. It's just backwards because this piece is flipped over because it's the back piece. So just do this. So now we have a folio. I don't think I'm going to use this for anything else other than what I just did. I do have to cut some pieces, but basically I cut the majority of it out beforehand because I always forget to do things. So, okay, I made that piece bigger, which I'm okay with because that ensures that this thing is going to close. It just means that there's a little gap right here. So like when you open this, it's not exactly at the edge. I'm okay with that though. That actually works in my favor because most of the time when I try to close these things, they don't want to stay closed. So that actually works. So let's finish cutting out all our pockets. We'll figure out where things are going to go. And then I kind of want to try something that I've never done. And I don't know if it's going to work. I saw it on a thing. I don't know what I was watching. I saw it on a thing. Y'all know that thing you watch? I totally did not cut this out right. I mean, print it correctly. Because it's messed up on this side. Oh well, we'll just have to fix it ourselves. And that's what we're here for, right? We're do-it-ourselfers, so when we have to fix things, it's all good. Oh, I'm so glad he's doing well. My sister actually called me earlier today, which was funny because my mom and I were just talking about this either yesterday or the day before. I think we were actually talking about it yesterday. And I told her to bring it up at dinner when we go out to eat dinner on Saturday because we're going out to eat for my sister's birthday / Mother's Day. So Emmy, hey, Miss Trudy. My niece Emmy, she's almost out of school for the summer, and I was like wondering what she was going to do. I was telling my mom, I was like, she's kind of a little bit old to be going to that daycare she was going to for summer camp. She's 8 years old now. So I was like, you should ask Julianne what she's doing with her during the summer when we go to dinner on Saturday. Well, my sister called me earlier and was like, So they're not doing the daycare summer thing for them this year. She was like, "Do you think you can watch Emmy this summer for like one day a week when I'm working?" And I'm like, yeah. If y'all have ever heard me talk about Emmy, yeah, I totally want to babysit her anytime I can. I love my niece to death." And she was like, "It'd probably just be one day a week. She likes going with me to work." And I'm like, "Okay." I was like, "I will watch her however many days you need me to watch her, whenever you need me to watch her. Just know that." Because I wanted to do things with Emmy this summer. So I think one of these is going to be wider than the other. Yeah, one of them's going to be wider. That is not the worst thing in the world. So let's finish cutting out our pockets. So I cut out most of this stuff for the pockets. All I really have left is like the edge pieces. And then like this piece here. This curved piece. And the folio that I used to design made this from basically. It I'm trying to think of what I'm trying to say. It had pockets that went on all 4 pages in the middle. And I was like, I don't really like them. So I kind of made my own thing up. I copied and pasted into a new template that I made, and I'm just going with it. And we'll just see how it turns out. Because the pocket thing on the folio had like 3 different pockets that were shaped like this with the curve. It had one page had like 3 different pockets that were laid on top of each other. And it didn't have anything on the outside. And I was like, I need something on the outside. So I was taking things from the inside and putting it on the outside. So if anybody is wondering, again, this is not a kit from Etsy. It is a folio that I made with prints from Creative Fabrica. All I do is download them and then put them into Canva. And yeah, that's literally all I do. And I've downloaded Canva templates from Creative Fabrica to do some of this stuff. So like this pocket that I'm cutting out right now, it was a folio. It was a folio. It was a template for a pocket from Creative Fabrica. And you just upload it to Canva, and then you just drop when you open it on Canva, you just drop your image that you want to use into it. And I get, like I said, I get most of these things from Creative Fabrica. Forgot what the name of this one was, but it's like a vintage patriotic one. I had downloaded a bunch of them a while back. And honestly, I had no clue what I was doing today until I was watching the crafters, and I was like, I think I'll do a folio. I literally designed this while trying to think of who I was watching while I designed it. It might have been MJ. I know Miss Carla. I love watching Emmy. My niece is like the sweet. She is okay. So my niece is autistic. For anybody that doesn't know, so she's not exactly the nicest to me most of the time, because I'm the aunt that wants to do things with her, and she doesn't want to do things with me. But I have gotten better about leaving her alone and letting her do what she wants to do. Last time she was here when I watched her, I gave her my old guitar from when I was in school. I think I was about her age too. I only played it for like 2 years, but I still had it. And I gave it to her to play with. And I'm like, "Emmy, whose guitar is that?" She goes, "It's mine." I was like, "Okay." But it needed new strings. So I bought new strings and a tuner. And I just haven't had a chance to put the strings on it. But she's coming over next weekend for a crawfish boil. But I think she's going to be in the pool. So, but she'll get to play with it this summer, which I totally love. I love doing that kind of stuff. I bought, I don't know if any of y'all have ever seen, they have fabric markers at Dollar Tree. I'll have to show you guys one day. I don't do a lot of haul videos anymore ever since I actually started crafting. And I also run my group and everything. But I found 3 different packs of markers. So they were like different colors and stuff. And I went and got a shirt at Michael's. Yeah. Because Michael's shirts are less expensive than Hobby Lobby's now. They don't take coupons, but, you know, they're still less expensive. Anyway, I bought her a blank white shirt, and I'm like, Mom, I'm just going to give her the shirt and markers and say, here, color. She's a very good artist, so I figure she's probably going to draw something cool. And I will have to tell her when I do it, like, just so you know, once you color on the shirt, it's done. You can't erase it. There's no erasing fabric. And maybe I'll get her to ink. Yeah, I know Miss Carla loves crawfish too. We're both from Louisiana, South Louisiana, so crawfish is in our blood. I've eaten crawfish as long as I can remember. And Beth knows about crawfish because her husband's from Louisiana. And Nina knows about crawfish because Nina's in Baton Rouge. So lots of people in here know about crawfish. So this is one of the ones that's layered. So it's got a bigger pocket and then a smaller one that goes on top of it. And I'm hoping I made this small enough to where it won't take up the entire thing. My mom said we should have had a crawfish boil last week, but we're having one next week, so it's kind of close together. Although I'm never going to turn down crawfish. It's funny, I never get invited to crawfish boils anywhere, but I always invite my friends because, you know, my dad makes, like, the best crawfish. And yes, I'm bragging on my dad. But he does make really good crawfish. He has a recipe that he has perfected over the years, so. And a couple years ago, he finally got one of those pots where you don't really need a lot of help. It's like got the lever that you just flip over. I mean, you still need help putting everything in there, like the crawfish and stuff, but like getting them out and everything is not as difficult as when you have to lift up the whole thing from a pot and leave it dangling. So this is our last pocket for this. I might make another thing that's not this thing. Let me see if I can get this all off the desk without making a huge mess and dropping it all on the floor. Okay, get all of that in the trash. So now we get to figure out where we want to put things. I do need a score thing, so maybe we'll wait and we'll score everything and then we'll come back and figure it out. We'll score all our pockets and stuff. So like I said, I just score where they are. And because I made this myself and cut them out myself, they're pretty much lined up to where I need them to be. So we're all good. Yeah, that's why people are at our house. We have a pool too. My parents got a pool the year before my dad retired. So if my niece could, she would probably come over here all the time and go swimming, but she doesn't. And an effed up thing about that, and I say that in that term because it's really stupid, I'm not allowed to take the child in the pool when I babysit her. Maybe they'll change it this year because she's old enough to do it. But before, I was not. Emmy was told when she would come over here and I would watch her, no upstairs, no outside. Like, they didn't want to go in near the pool, and she wasn't allowed to come up here to my craft room, which I don't really need her in my craft room, so that's fine. But, like, the child can't go swimming with me. Y'all don't trust me to not let that child drown? Like, I'm not going to let her drown. Like, that would be really stupid of me. To let my favorite little girl in the whole wide world drown would be really stupid. We're almost finished with the scoring, you guys. I promise. And when I don't have a flat edge, I just kind of line up the edge of what I need to score with something on the top. It doesn't have to be a perfect line. There goes my dad texting me again. I'm having issues with this one line because I can't tell where I need to line it up. Okay, I think I need to line it up on this edge. Let me message my mom really quickly and tell her I'm live. Or message my dad, I guess, and tell him I'm live. Because apparently he doesn't pay any attention to anything. This iPad drives me nuts. Okay. So this one is not a pocket pocket. This one is a flip pocket. So it's kind of more like an envelope almost. And I did forget to cut that part out, but that's easy enough to do. I'm just gonna use my round punch. Just gonna use my round punch. And these do have a part right here. I'll hold it up. I don't know if y'all can see it right there where there's white. The corner is rounded right there. So what you want to do is fold these in half. And then get a good crease on it. And then you'll use your corner rounder right there to round the corners on the sides. So do the same thing with this one. That was loud. And sometimes mine don't line up exactly the way they should, but when I go to round the corners, they'll be fine. So you're only going to fold in one of these pieces on the end. You're going to fold this one that's on this side and then one of these. The other one's going to get hooked into the folio. So same thing on this one. Fold this one in on this side. And then you're going to fold one of the edges in. I'm just waiting until after I cut it with my thing. So I'm just using the 4mm rounder. It doesn't really matter what. So if I do this and it doesn't look right, I would go to the next size. That's how I fix things. If I clipped it and it still had white right here and I could see it clearly, I would just go to the next size to round the corner. Because it doesn't make a huge bit of difference. Like if your thing is rounded one way or the other. Or if you don't want to round it. I'm rounding it because it does have the white on it. Okay, so we're about halfway in and we have like nothing done. Just kidding. I actually remembered to bring water in here. Because I don't know if y'all have noticed this, but I like to talk a lot sometimes. I probably want to ink everything. I think I might use Night Sky or Faded Denim, but I want to glue these two together first. So that I have my edges to be able to ink. I don't know what I'm saying anymore, you guys. So I'm put those aside and I'm going to go into folding all of these in. And it's not going to take long to do all this because we scored them. So we have our pretty lines. That one did not fold well, but I don't really care. When I have ones like this that overflow on the pot, or not overflow, but overlap, I just take a tiny bit of glue right there and glue it down. I don't think this one, well, it did. So I just take a tiny bit of glue, a tiny bit, like a dot of glue. Oh, I'm so happy, Marcia. That makes me really happy. I love that I can teach you guys, even though I don't really know what I'm doing some of the times. So we're just folding all of this in. And it's really funny because I'm really not an outgoing person in real life. I don't like, well, I guess nowadays because I've done it more, but when I was in college, uh, whenever I would have to give like a presentation or something, I would just get so sick to my stomach. It's not even funny. Like, you know how some people throw up because they get anxious? I wouldn't get anxious that way, but my stomach would be so upset that I would just feel horrible. Once I actually did the presentation, it was fine, but... And then once I was in college the second time, it was so much easier. I think it was because I was a lot older at that point, and I was like, screw it, I don't really care. I was older than all of my classmates for the most part, and one of my teachers that I had in marketing actually graduated with me in undergrad. Like, she wasn't in my department, but she was in the same college as me. See, so these are different. These have these lines that go like that to where these just meet up with them. Those overlapped. So when you have the ones like this, they're not going to overlap. So there's nowhere you can glue it together, but it'll still stay together whenever you go to put it in the folio. It's like when you would put it in a journal. I have a feeling that that's why what did you study in college? I have a I have an undergraduate degree in finance. So I have a BS in finance with a minor in management. And then I also have a BS in fashion merchandising from when I went back the second time. And because fashion merchandising is a lot of marketing, I decided to get a marketing degree while I was there because I already had a bunch of the prerequisites from when I did finance there. So I also have a BA in marketing, and I have an MBA because, you know, I'm not nerdy enough as is. Hey, Miss Linda. So yeah, I have a lot of degrees, and yet I choose to craft all the time. Crafting is my happy place. I've always been a crafter. I still remember crafting with Barney as a kid. I would get my mom's bag out and it would be my Barney bag. And I still know the song from when they would do the arts and crafts on the show. That's how much I was into Barney. Thank you for sprinkling. I really do appreciate that. So we're going to put our flip ones in one of these. It doesn't matter which one, but you want to make sure when you do these that you put them in first so that whatever, if you do it this way, let's see. Let's just fold this one in. And we're going to glue this before we glue it into the book. So if you put it in this way, when you go to put, well, it really matters at the bottom. So I'll just show you the bottom. So if you put it in here, when you put your envelope in, it'll cover this part right here. It's not going to cover it at the top, but that's not the end of the world, in my opinion. So let me get my pounder. Just cut this out. Okay, no, don't need it to go that far in. That would have been that would have been a real hot mess. Like I said, I cut these out wrong. Well, I printed them wrong, so they're not going to be exactly the same size, but that's not the whole point of this. So let's glue this one together. I'm like trying to get everything out of the way and it's not working. So I'm putting glue on the little pieces that we folded in. Does anybody know what these things are called? The things you fold in? I have no clue what they're called. They're just the things you fold in. So we did need this creased because we are going to put this in. So you want to be able to fold it. So when you put it in the folio, you need to be able to fold it in like this. So let me see how I did this one. This is this way, so this goes this way. So we're going to fold in this piece here. so that we have this piece to go into our journal. I keep calling it a journal. It is not a journal, it's a folio, but come see, come saw. I don't know what that means, but my mom always used to say it, and I'm pretty sure it means like what'll be, what'll, it is what it is, or something like that. I have no clue. She could have made it up for all I know. So we got 24 minutes. I think we're doing well. So I am gonna get the I could have cut that better. Let's see. Let's see. I know I have faded blue jeans, but I think sky blue is the one I want to use. It is a dark blue, and it kind of like, I don't know. It's a darker blue than what you think. And actually this one is not sky blue, it's stormy sky, because I couldn't find the refill for this one and I bought this instead. So it's darker than what I thought it would be, but it's not the end of the world. Purple. What, I had one of these that was blue. Oh, I do. I'm like, wait, I thought I had a blue one. I love these brushes. These are makeup brushes. They're concealer brushes from the Dollar Tree. They're like one of my favorite things. So I just get ink on my brush and I will tap some of it off. And the first thing I'm going to do is ink this part that I didn't print anything on, because I could have double-sided printed this, but I chose not to. And since I didn't, I'm just going to color it with the ink. So I'm going to make it blue on both of them. Well, this one's going to be a lot more inky. Well, my ink pad was really dry. Like, it never really seemed like it had a ton of ink in it. But I also bought it from, like, Joann, so it could have just been dried out because it was just there forever. Okay, I'm coming back with this one and make it a little darker, because I went a little bit overboard with the ink on that one. So I'm going to ink the edges on the rest of it, though. I figured since this is Memorial Day and that's what the colors are, that I would use blue. I have red. I'm not into the red. I don't dislike it. I do have fired brick I could have used. I'm inking both sides because you're going to be able to see both of the sides. Because you're going to flip it in and out. I also think I might have over-inked this thing when I did this, but it's not the end of the world. I'm going to use all the ink. My dad finally figured out that I was not available. So again, these are flip pockets for the folio. And also, this is a good way if you don't, if you missed white that you didn't get to cut off, just put this ink on it and it'll cover it right up. These are not the best for doing this part, but I really like them for blending. Like what I was doing on the edges right there. The reason that one's so dark though is because I didn't off-put any of the ink when I did that. So it ended up really dark on that one, which I'm okay with. It's not going to be perfect. Nothing in my world is perfect. I feel like because I have my marketing degree, that's why I like Canva so much. We kind of learned how to use it in one of my marketing classes when I was in college, so yeah. We took a class that was like about social media and stuff. So we're just going to ink all of these up. And this is a different color blue than what is in these, but I'm okay with that too. I could have used faded blue jean because I have that one. But I have a lot of this one because I bought the re-inker. So I figure I might as well use the one that I have most of right now. Because there's not that big of a difference in the color, to me, between those two. And when you make these in Canva, you can move the images around, especially if they're smaller than what, and if your frame is smaller than what your image is. So on this one, I was able to move it around so that I could have the USA and freedom right there. I agree with that, Tamara. I totally agree with that. But the colors don't always seem like what they are. Especially with the Tim Holtz ones. Not so much with some of the, like, stampabilities. You get what you see. That's what you get when you get those from Hobby Lobby. But a lot of the Tim Holtz, I found, like, those are not exactly true to color, if you want to say that. Oh, I need to go back and fix the... I didn't do the top of those. So again, you guys, up after me is Jamie with Crafting Time with Jamie 2. She will be the last creator in the event today. I'm just going to wait and do them afterwards. I'll just take them all back out and do the top. So we have had a lot of creators. We started off at, was it noon Eastern with Miss Linda? And then we had Renee. And we had, after Renee was Marsha. I think Marsha was after her. I could be wrong. We've had so many crafters, you guys. So, yeah. It was Linda. We had Renee, Marsha, Miss Sue. We had Lori, Nana's Nook. Miss Carla, Tamara. MJ filled in an open spot for us from MJ4. Or is that her page still? Or is it like, she was Gmail at one point. I never remember when people change their page names. At least when Tamara changed hers, it was just, she changed the way it was worded, but it was pretty much the same. Instead of being T's Crafty Fox Creations, it was Crafty Fox Creations by Tamara. Which, that one was pretty much easy to remember. And did y'all know you can go in on people's profiles and see what their page names have been in the past? I did that on Tamara's and found out that that used to be her page name, and she changed it, and now it's back to what it was. So if y'all ever change your page names, just know it's still there. It doesn't go away. So now I'm inking these edges that I missed. So for anybody that did not know that, now you know. Taught you something new today. It wasn't even related to what we're working on. For some reason, some of these images make me think of a carnival. I guess because of the banners on them or something. That's what I'm thinking, at least. They make me think of a circus or a carnival. I really want to find my other mat that has the magnetic thing on it. I don't know where it is. There's only 2 places it should be, and it's not in either one of them. Okay, we're done with that. Put that back in there. Close the lid, clean this mat. I always clean my ink off right after I've done it before I start working with the pieces, because I don't want all the ink all over the outside of my journal or folio. I thought you might find that a little bit amusing. I mean, it kind of is. Okay. So this is going to close. It just wasn't closing for me when I was trying to pull with it to begin with. So we've got these 2 pockets. One goes up here, one goes down here, and you can put it on whatever page you want to put it on. You could put it on the front page, put it on the back page. I try to put it on the middle one because I feel like that's the better option for being able to flip it. Hey, Miss Bonnie, thank you for sprinkling. Okay, let's see if we can get this glued in. I'm just using art glitter glue because I don't think I mentioned that, but that's all that's in that little bottle. I just like to have the art glitter glue in the little bottle because I like that tip. So you just want to line up the edge of your fold with the edge of your paper. So it is going to give it a thickness, but I mean, the whole thing is going to be thicker because of everything you're going to put in it anyway. I'm just doing the same thing up at the top. Like I said, one of these is smaller than the other because I printed it weird. Apparently when I printed it with borderless, it messed it up somehow. I got those two. And then these are the ones that I usually put on this page, are these curved ones. So we're going to put a curved one over this and a curved one on that side. I don't know if y'all noticed this, but I did not make the this folded piece on this side go all the way to the top. It doesn't really have to. It doesn't really have to go all the way to the top. So because this thing is so wide, I'm putting this on the inside of the fold where we did this. Where we have our fold from the folio. And then I'm pressing this down to make sure the glue sticks. And then I'm just going to do the same thing with this one. I'm going to glue it down on this side. Trying to decide if I really want to glue this down on this side like this. I don't think I do. I think I only want to put glue on some part of it. I don't want to glue it down completely because then I won't be able to put things in this pocket. I think that's what I'm going to do. Because you overlap these. And if you glue it down all the way at the side, you're not going to be able to put anything in that back pocket, right? I don't know. It's just me. Okay. I am going to glue it down better because that was not staying. And I am gluing it all the way to the top. So I'm just lining it up with the bottom of the previous pocket. So they're overlapping. And I am gluing it all the way down. So this one's open right here. But the back one is only, you can only put something as wide as it can in. Okay. And I probably should have made sure I could fold this in before I glued it. The top one doesn't really matter. Okay. So I've got that. That's Carla. So I think this is the one that I had that layers on top of one another that goes on the front one. I'm just going to glue this one to that one before I even put it in. It doesn't really matter because you're just going to end up gluing it on top of it one way or the other. So I'm just going to glue it on down. And I didn't glue it exactly at the edge, but that's okay. It's like a slight millimeter maybe off from the edge, but it's not going to matter that much when we go to glue it in. And it doesn't matter. You could put it on this one. You could put it on this one. You could put it on the first one. And then I also want to do pockets on the other side. I actually might do it on this one. I don't want to put it on this one. I want to have some other flip pockets, but they're going to flip the other way. So maybe we'll put it on this one. We'll put it on that one. This is how my brain works. I print all these out and I'm like, I'll just figure it out whenever I go to put it together. Just as long as I have the pockets. So trying to line it up in the center. I don't know if it's exactly centered because I can't really tell where the lines are right now. I think it's mostly centered. It's mostly centered in between the two seams. I don't know if that's the correct word for that, but that's what I'm going to call it. See, I have all of these too, and they're all, they don't, that's not even the right drawer. I'm like, why doesn't this fit in here? It's because it wasn't the drawer it went in. I have an obsession, okay? So I do want to put some of the pockets on the outside, because you're going to flip it and you're not going to have anything on this side. So I do want to put some of these pockets over here. So you could actually mix and match. So maybe we'll do this with this and this with this. Okay. So we'll put one of them down at the bottom, and then you could put one of them up at the top. Or we could just put them on different pages and just have one on each page. It doesn't really matter, but I do want to put some fold in, so I think I want to put them here. So maybe we'll put one of these on this pop page in the front. I saw a person make this, I don't even know what it was. To me, it looked like a waterfall, but it was really just pockets that were glued in with tabs as like a hinge, which I thought that was really cool. And so it had like a page like this, and it had like little envelopes basically with openings at the end that you could put like a tag in or something. And that's why I don't know what is going on with these lights. That's why I printed these two. I kind of want to use this one though, but I don't know exactly what I'm doing. So there's that. I think I said I wanted to use the other one with this. Nah, I think we'll do those on the back. So this is our back. Let's see what we're going to put on them. I don't want to put one on the cover, so I don't want to put one on this one. So I can put them on these three. Let's do this one in the middle. I'm doing this one in the middle because it's different top, the way the pockets cut out. It's different. It's got this little curved cutout instead of the other one has the ones that go up. You'll see what I'm talking about. And if I really wanted to, I could come back and put another pocket on each of these pages or add something to it. But now all of our pages are going to have pockets, except for our cover, because I want to use something and write like Memorial Day or something on it. I did print out something from Lisa Siegel. She had posted some stuff. Miss Sue from Subi Designs was using it earlier. And I printed out, it wasn't a ton of it, but it was this one page. And she did have this that said Memorial Day on it. But it printed really close to the edge and I didn't cut it out yet. So I'm thinking I might want to use that on the cover. Okay, so we've got all our pockets in. So I really want to focus on this one. I have about 6 minutes left. Like I said, I'm not really sure what the heck I'm doing, but I'm going to do it. Isn't that how it works? You don't know what you're doing, but you're going to do it anyway. Trying to figure out if the punch I want is right here. Nope, that's not it. Where did I put it? I have a tab punch. And so I was going to punch the tabs out. It's underneath my desk. Ah! Don't fall over. I might have put it in this container. Nope. That's just my other round. I don't know where the heck it is now. I'll get up for just a second to look under the desk. I don't see my punch that I'm looking for. Makes me sad. Because I have a punch that does what I need it to do. I actually have one that does one side, but I have a big one that I just got recently that does the double-sided tabs. Oh well, I'm sure y'all have seen tabs. It's just going to be a hinge. The tab is going to be a hinge, so it's going to be attached to whatever pocket we make. So I'm going to use this paper because this print is the same as this one. And I wasn't really thinking that through when I did it. So let's move this and measure this really quick to see how wide the envelope things can be. And it'd be nice if the ruler was not upside down. Don't think I would want to make them more than like 4.5-ish. It's 5 inches from this crease to the edge. So maybe 5 3/4 wide. I can't use that trimmer because it's not wide enough. So we are going to trim our paper to be 5 3/4 wide. Let's just do it this way. 5 3/4. And then whatever's left, I'm going to keep it. I don't know what I'm going to use it for, but I'm going to keep it. So I don't want my pockets to be this big, but I do want to make sure I make them wide enough to fit this, which is 2.5 inches. So I want to make 5. I want to make them at least 5. And these sheets are 11. So we're going to do 5.5. So we've got about 3 minutes left, but we can, I mean, I'm not going to finish everything, obviously, but we can work on this. So these are 5.5 by 5.5. So I'm just going to fold them in half. And let me see if these will fit in here. They will just fit. They might stick out a little bit. I might do something else with them. I might cut the ends off so that they'll actually fit. But what I'm thinking, because this is me thinking, this probably is not going to work. I kind of wanted to fold the end in. And leave a piece to attach to the tab. But I'm thinking that's not going to work. But I do know I want to punch a piece of this out with one of my rounders. This is 1.5 inch. So I'm just going to cut a piece out like that. I'll do the same thing with this one. Just cut a piece out like this. No, I did not measure when I did that. So basically what you want to do is close the pocket on the 2 edges, and then we're going to have a hinge that is made out of a cutout piece that I would use, that I wanted to make with my punch, but I don't know where my punch is. It doesn't have to be the tab punch. It could be anything, but I know I have that punch, and it was a cool thing in the video I was watching. So I'm gonna try and find it so that I can use it, and I will try and post a picture of this once I finish it, because I mean I only have 1 minute left. But so they will just go in here, and they were like overlapping, and like I might have to trim these down anyway because they're way too wide, because I did this wrong apparently, but they were like overlapping so you could flip them out. And then they had a pocket down here. So I'm gonna have to keep thinking about that. I don't know what I'm gonna do. And if I did this one, I would have to close it on one side, but it would not be difficult to do. So let's go watch Miss Jamie over at Crafting Time with Jamie 2, and I will see you guys over in the comments. Bye guys.